Look at that, it's yet another Proto Marvel Legends put out by Toybiz, and I gotta say, they were getting there. This is definitely like a good DNA jumping off point for Spider-Man classics. I've talked about May Parker's Spider-Girl here on the channel before, specifically when we were looking at the Marvel Legends from the Superior Hobgoblin wave. However, I hate that there's not more, well, anything to do with MC2. It's such a great series. I love seeing a very possible realistic future of the Silver Age Marvel Universe, and I love seeing how so many of these characters evolved with the times as things got better, as new generations came up. And May Parker is honestly one of my favorite members of the Spider family across any universe. I think that she's more interesting than even Peter, due to not just being Peter. She's a very different individual. She was a talented athlete and a so-so journalist. As a result, I like getting figures of May Parker, even though there's not many figures of her at the moment. But who knows? There's always another Disney Plus show around the corner. Maybe they'll do an MC2 show. Who knows? From Toybiz and their first appearance toy line that came out around the same time as Spider-Man Classics and before Marvel Legends, this is Spider-Girl, also known as May Parker. If you're unaware of May Parker, she comes from the MU2 alternate universe. Basically set 20 years into the future, this shows what happens to our current roster of Marvel superheroes, as well as a generation that comes after them. May Parker is the daughter of Peter Parker, and she was inspired by her dead Uncle Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, to become Spider-Girl due to Peter Parker losing his leg against the Green Goblin about 15 years prior. That's the reason why her costume takes so many cues from Ben Reilly's Spider-Man costume. As a result, there's a lot of really interesting continuations and new ideas of standard Spider-Man tropes. And it helps, once again, even though I've said this plenty of times, May was not just Peter again. She was far more socially adept, she was popular, she was a great athlete before she even got bit by the spider. However, she was not as clever nor as natural a problem solver as Peter. So whereas Peter's issues were often more based on his personal life, May had issues being the ever-present, ever-creative Spider-Man that Peter so naturally was able to become. Taking a closer look, and the paint's a bit rough, the sculpting is very juvenile compared to what Toybiz would go on to do just a few years later, and the articulation is really, really bad. Just look at these legs and realize the points are there just to say that there are points. They can't get into meaningful poses. This is a figure that's meant to have one, maybe two poses max. Still, it's an interesting oddity.